Welcome back, a professor, a biker, a student, a parent, and a loving husband, a very unique combination which you don't come across every day. We now have our feature story about Renji.
What I feel like when I'm riding, now that's something very difficult to put into words. When you're out there riding, you almost reach a zen-like state. You forget, your head is completely clear, you forget everything. It's just you, the motorcycle, and the road in front of you, and how you negotiate the next curve. That's it. And life itself just seems simpler. Everything seems to be, at peace, and there's a sense of balance in the world. That's the best way I can put it. I mean, nothing else.
So this group is about a year old. It was actually started by Ajit. It's quite an interesting group. So we all ride within UAE and Oman. All the guys who ride with us are completely passionate about riding, and one of the key things is also it's a fun-loving group. And we stick together as a team. We're really like made for each other kind of a group.
Our group Road Toads it's not about just a bunch of guys riding together and the camaraderie that we enjoy. It's much more than just something so simple. We engage in several social causes as well. Recently we participated in the ride for autism awareness, and we were also participants, and we even raised money for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, which is held yearly to raise awareness for prostate cancer in men.
So yeah, it's a great passion to be riding around with all these guys. As somebody said, four wheels move bodies and two wheels move the soul. So these are things that that's quite interesting. It's really good to be out early mornings as the sun rises. We rise and ride.
We have with us a professor from the University of Sharjah who also happens to be a part of a biker group, the Road Toads. Mr. Renji Matthews, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks a lot for having me here.
You're welcome. So being a professor, how do your students and your co-workers endure the fact that, how you have such a unique combination? How do they react to it?
Well, I get varied reactions from a lot of people. My colleagues and co-workers in college, some of them ask me why I still do biking or take up something that's potentially dangerous. And then there's the cool factor as well. I mean, with these students think it's something pretty cool for a professor to do. So yeah, I get a lot of questions from a cross section of people.
All right, sir. Just wanted to ask on the fact that how did the name Road Toads come up? How do you come up with this?
You would have noticed, if you're into biking at all, that most of the clubs around the world and even here have very intimidating kind of names. Hell's Angels, and closer to home there are the Desert Wolves and Rattlesnakes and all that. So the person who founded the group, Mr. Ajit Jacob John, he thought let's put a name that's not so intimidating, and even it rhymes with road as well, toads.
You spoke of the person who started. Could you please come back with the name again?
His name is Ajit Jacob John.
So he was the one who initiated the whole Road Toads?
Yes, he actually started this group formally exactly a year back, last March 2014. to be precise. And then he got 2-3 people together that he knew, and one of them happened to be a friend of mine, Girish Narayanan, and he brought me to the group. So that's how the group sort of expanded, and it grew from there.
So how big is your group as of now? Like, what's the strength?
We have about 25 members from all across the UAE. The youngest member is about 28 and the oldest member is just under 60. And again, this is people coming from various cultures, various professional backgrounds. It's a very interesting mix.
So basically you have like a ultimate combination of different nationalities as well, different cultures together as one group of like 25 people.
Yeah, I mean, nationality wise it's mainly Indian, but again from it we have people spread across from the all of India, and we even come across other nationalities in our rides because there are several biking groups here which we interact with also.
All right. Everyone has their own reason, to get on a bike. They always have this one perspective that I want to get on a bike because of one certain reason. Do you have that certain reason?
I would say, yeah, I would credit my dad with that. He was also an avid biker, and I can still see him eyeing my motorcycle, at times. If I'd say, okay, take it out, I'm sure he would still attempt to ride it. So I've watched him riding from when I was at a very early age, and he always stressed on the safer aspects of riding, making sure that you got your fundamentals right, and that speed. I always remember him telling me that any idiot can ride fast, but there's power is nothing without control. Precision. There are skills to be developed. So I'd always credit it to my dad.
Speaking of speed, is there any message you would like to give to our young audience who have taken biking to an absolute extreme, taking it to such an extent that there have been really bad crashes and other sort of things? So is there any particular message you want to bring out to them, to a young audience, basically, the youth?
Yeah, I've seen several riders out on the street treating it like a racetrack. My message is, again, don't treat it like the racetrack. If you feel the need for speed, then there's Dubai has a wonderful autodrome where on certain days you can take your bike there, and if you have the proper gear, you can ride to your heart's content at whatever speed. It's not limited, and it's in a safe environment and where there are no surprises on the road. The other thing is, I see a lot of people riding without any proper riding gear, many of them in shorts and t-shirt, which I find very strange, and I only see inexperienced riders doing that, because however good you are on a motorcycle, you are going to go down at some point.
True.
Which is a given. I mean, it's impossible that you can ride your entire through your life without having a fall, and if you have good gear, even if you have a pretty serious fall, provided you're not hit by another vehicle, you can, most of the time, you just walk away without even a scratch.
True.
So that's it. Ride sensibly, use the proper gear. That would be my advice for the young.
Thank you, Mr. Renji. It was a pleasure having you in the studio. We now move on to a review segment brought to you by our very own Gauthami. Before that, we'll take a short break. Don't go away and stay tuned. We will be right back with exciting reviews.